I think it makes all of us smile. We're also happy for him because he knows what he's capable of, and he just plays with so much confidence. And he's been doing it all year long.
First of all, I don't believe he's 20, how he's playing.
The swag that he plays with, the moves that he makes, you think he's been in the league for 10 plus.
The kid's got grit, he's got heart, and he's living for those moments.
My teammates from top to bottom trust me, from the oldest guy to the youngest guy. And that's big. Not all vets are like that.
We believe in him. Everybody believes in him. That's why we're not afraid to put the ball in his hands.
You know, I know my role is not to score 30, whatever I had tonight. It's not to do that every night.
I think the game has slowed down for him a long time ago. Now, he's just playing at an incredibly high level. And I could tell you over and over again how proud I am of the kid. But he cares. He wants to win. He does whatever you ask him to do.
I'm just going to bet on myself. I've been doing that, my whole life. I went from, Milwaukee, a small town in Milwaukee, to Kentucky. Nobody thought I would survive there, and nobody thought I would survive here. So,
hell, he just fits in here. I think everybody got that chip on our shoulder on our roster.
At the end of the day, all you can do is, work at it, perfect your craft. Good things will happen from there, but it's just about putting in the work and really putting in time and effort into something you love. I think that my confidence is that I can play with anybody, and I think my confidence is that's just who I am.
All right, that's the way to start. Video by our new contributor, Chris Clark, who you're probably familiar with his work, even if you don't know him personally. He was on NBC6 for quite a long time working behind the scenes. So thanks to Chris for doing that. Thanks to Alejandro Villegas, our producer, for putting that up there. We are one game away, folks. We're one game away from the Miami Heat going to their 6th NBA Finals since 2006, a decade and a half. Potential for a 6th NBA Finals. 3-1 lead in the series. Of course, on the other side of the bracket, the Lakers are up 3-1. You probably know the guy who's at least co-leading them there. So we're one game away on each side on the Armageddon matchup. And the only thing that holds it back,
the ultimate gut check.
The ultimate gut check. We've got some smiling faces with hidden agendas on this program right now. The only shame of this is that it's not going to be happening in the arena, where you would have our old friend Alex Solana starting a LeBron is tired chant or any of the other things that happen there. I don't want to look too far ahead here, though. We've been doing this over the past 24 hours, looking ahead to what a finals matchup might be. They're not there yet. They're still playing a very good team that has played them even in this series. They are tied in points. Miami has been able to pull away.
That doesn't matter, Ethan.
They're tied in points. Our friend Royal Shepherd, a new contributor to us, check out his story there, by the way, on the website. The 5 worst takes of the Miami Heat. That's on there as well. Whenever you can get some additional slander of Sixers broadcasters, that's a good thing to do. But this series is pretty even in a lot of different ways. How can Boston tilt it? And I saw you tweeted, Greg, and some others tweeted, we may see Gordon Hayward in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, I trolled around Celtics Twitter. Well, I guess we'll say their Celtics Twitter, Celtics media to some degree, just to kind of get an idea of a pulse check. And I think Nikias Duncan did the same. And it sounds like, when Spoelstra would kind of abandon what he would normally do and kind of go to the best 5. I think he actually did it against San Antonio late in the last series. I forgot exactly the player that was in. Maybe Ray Allen got inserted into the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. I feel like from the conversations I had, it's something like that, where Stevens is essentially going to put his best 5 guys on the floor. I don't know what that exactly means, because I just can't envision how they're going to manage without a big with Bam and the way Bam is played. But that's just something to watch, I guess, as we see the lineups get announced here shortly.
It was Ray Allen, by the way, and I remember because Mario Chalmers was MFing the decision in the locker room before the game, during the game, and after the game. But in that particular case, Rio in 2014 as opposed to 2011 probably shouldn't have been starting by then, because if you remember Mario Chalmers in that series, he was such a disaster that LeBron James asked me on the court, American Airlines Arena, can you get your guy in line? So that's how bad it was. He was dealing
Your
with
guy.
he was dealing with some personal issues. Also, it's my responsibility to handle Rio. Anyway, let's get to it. By the way, Brady Hawk's wearing the Drip T-shirt, 10% off, floor pass. We've got the Jimmy Canasta shirt that Alejandro's wearing. We got shooters that Leif's wearing. Alfredo's not wearing anything important. I could give you.
He's wearing something.
That's a good thing. And I've got the There Are Obstacles, but There Are None shirt. So we're wearing 4 of the black shirts on here. There are others of other
Knockout
shades.
night.
United in black.
You can check out the Bucket Brothers shirt is reddish on the site. Brady, let's get to it. I mean, if they do that, if they decide, okay, we're going to get Gordon Hayward 35 minutes tonight, maybe that means starting him. How does that change the matchups for the Heat?
Well, I think like he mentioned it, the BAM is going to be a big factor with that. And I think it actually benefits their bench because I've kind of said I don't think Kelly Olynyk plays today like he didn't play last game. I think they're ultimately going to go with Derek Jones Jr. over Solomon Hill as the eighth man, and they're going to run an 8-man rotation throughout. So I think it benefits them for them kind of as a defensive standpoint that they're going to run a lot of zones still, and they could even man up a lot more with Derek Jones Jr. If they want to take Bam out and they could run with those small lineups that we talked about that we don't really like, it's a lot more trustworthy with those guys coming off the bench and guarding the smaller lineup of Boston.
Let me give you 3 guys, Alfredo. Who plays the most minutes for Miami, if any at all? Derek Jones Jr., Kendrick Nunn, or Kelly Olynyk?
Or Hill.
Derek Jones Jr.
Hill. Actually, thank you, Alejandro. Or Solomon Hill. Those 4 guys. Who plays
Derek Jones Jr. because he fits what they want to do with the 2 lengthy guys at the top of the zone. But I believe Boston, they're out of tricks. First of all, that roster is really top heavy, and we thought it was top heavy. Really good though. 1 through 5, like we talked about it. Like if we did a draft, like you probably get 3 Celtics in the starting lineup if you did a draft between the two teams. So there's not many tricks that you can go to when you have such a top-heavy team. So if they start Gordon Hayward, what does that do? It might help their starts in this series. They played 4 games. Boston's had great starts in 3 of the 4 games.
That's a good point.
And they lost 2 of those 4 great starts that they had. So I don't know. The last game, Miami, I talked about it in the pregame. They needed to, they cannot do this sleepwalking thing because we can see Boston catches a hot streak from 3 and they could turn out your lights. And 15 is probably nothing for Miami to come back from, but 25 is. And it can get up there. So it's about getting off to a good start again, win the first quarter, just like you did last time, and the rest will take care of itself.
We appreciate that, Regina. You don't have to wear a shirt that you feel is bad luck. You can
wear it tomorrow. That's fine.
You can wait until after this. I told my daughter to go in. I haven't washed all of her pajamas, so I told her, I said, pick anything you want to wear tonight. She came out with a Heat shirt with a big heart in the middle, so I didn't even tell her I was watching the game tonight. So hopefully that's not bad luck because I'll get blamed for that. All right, let's get to the next part of this. So we talk about the rotation, but you also talk about urgency, and we talked about this with Jimmy. And, they're in a front runner position again. And I worry about that with him more than I do if they're kind of in a 2-2 situation or a down 2-1. His game, I thought last game was good enough. Okay. It wasn't dominant, but it was good enough. He was aggressive from the very beginning. He doesn't have to score 40. He just has to play that way. Greg, what do we expect from him tonight?
So I tend to lean in your direction in terms of that back against the wall. Jimmy is the best Jimmy, but there's something a little different about this game because I feel like to catapult your team into the NBA Finals, there's different stakes on the line than just advancing in a playoff series, and it's kind of intangible stuff that you can't really measure, or we don't have the tools to measure it, necessarily. But so I think that Jimmy's going to come out ready to close this series out. I really think that we're going to see a similar Jimmy to the last game, but maybe hitting a few more of those mid-range shots. And I know we're going to get to him, but tonight for me, this is a Goran Dragic night. I feel it in my veins. This is Goran Dragic's night. But Jimmy, I think, will be aggressive. And I think that just on the cusp of a finals appearance, considering all the talk about Jimmy all season, he has a lot of motivation to get this one done.
In scoring tonight, Goran's winning the poll. He's winning the poll on who will lead them in scoring tonight. So I think a lot of people agree. But the other name that's come up a lot tonight on Twitter, and I think it's just because we're waiting for this, is is there a Duncan Robinson game in here somewhere? And with sort of overcompensating now for Tyler Herro and trying to take that away, and obviously try to take Jimmy away and expect a big game from Goran, that maybe Duncan starts it. By the way, we agree with you, Lynette. We will not turn up the volume on ESPN. I want to get to Duncan in a second, but is it possible for them to talk about the Celtics the next 2 weeks, even if they're not in the finals? Can they?
Yeah.
Can they sustain that?
What move are they going to make in the offseason to, like with all the assets?
It's amazing because I didn't really feel like the Celtics, like they overcompensated with the Celtics like they do with the Lakers. But this series, you've definitely – it doesn't help having Pierce there, but it's been everybody else too. By the way, if Rachel Nichols – and I love Rachel to death, I've known her for 25 years – if she decides to interview any of the Heat players while they're shooting before the game, they should decline the interview.
She's going
Every
to.
time she's done the pregame interview, that team has lost. Okay, so
hey, maybe she'll interview Myers Leonard or Solomon Hill or someone like that.
that would be the best interview. Casey Akpala. All right, so we did on 5 on the floor. All right, so the Duncan Robinson thing. I looked over it again today. He's really only been impactful from a scoring perspective in 3 playoff games. Tonight,
I think this. I said before. I think this is not only going to be a Duncan Robinson night. I think it's going to be a Splash Bros 2.0 night. After that big Tyler Herro game, now a lot of people are saying that he's going to come out with that same fire. I don't think I'm not saying he's going to drop 37, obviously, but I think it's going to be I said 8 threes from both of them. I think it's going to be 5 for Duncan and 3 for Tyler. And they're just going to. I think Duncan's going to have a pretty big game, like you mentioned. Them kind of focusing on Tyler is going to open up his game early. I think he's going to knock down a couple in the first quarter. And when he knocks down a couple in the first quarter, that's all you need for Duncan because that's just a confidence thing, and then he gets going throughout the rest of the game. So I really do think this is going to be a Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson game to close this one out.
And they haven't shot well. They haven't shot well in the last 2 games from 3. So can Boston really handle an explosion from 3 from Miami?
maybe
If
not.
they get it, if the Heat get it, yeah, I think we start talking about the NBA Finals because I don't know where Boston goes to defeat a Heat team that's shooting well from 3.
What's at stake for Brad Stevens tonight?
That's a great question.
He got a lot of criticism last year for not being able to handle, a high ego team, and really it was high ego because of one guy who's not there anymore. But I mean, he replaced him with Kemba Walker, who is as easy to deal with as any star in the league. But Kemba has not been great. I mean, he's not been great in this series. He wasn't great in the last 2 games against Toronto. I mean, Brad has his team, right?
Yeah.
They were favored, right?
Yeah. So and here's another issue. All the basketball nerds are already coming out of the woodwork. Remember, Brad Stevens is one of their favorites, and they're starting to say, "Why did you sign Kemba Walker and not play him on the ball the entire game where he earned his money?" That's how he got that contract, is by being an on-the-ball point guard. You play him off the ball, and he's not the same. So something happened, right? You played him off the ball, and that's why he's not as good as he used to be. So I think Brad Stevens, he has the Northeast in the bag. I think this is the series. If it ends this way, unless Kemba has a huge revival, I guess you could see something like moving Kemba for another piece and another reshuffling and try to keep their main core together, minus Kemba next year.
Something that comes to mind, Ethan, I think you tweeted a while back the amount of times that the Celtics have been in the conference finals versus Miami in the last decade, 14 years, whatever it was.
Since Ainge came in, it's 7 for Miami and 6 for Boston.
And how many was Stevens coaching in that run?
Not many, because it was Doc. Right?
So let's just say, because I don't have the numbers in front of me, so maybe I'm gas bagging it, but let's say it's twice. I don't know. But ultimately, if you're going to be propped up as a coach, that there are some analysts that have asked the question, would you rather have Brad Stevens or the first pick of any player that you could have to start your franchise? Eventually, you got to get to the damn finals. You got to show something. And I think that we're getting to a point where if he's not going to get to the finals, if he's not advancing past the conference finals or getting there every single year, that there's a conversation to be had of, did we overblow his impact because of how what he did at Butler, and also like that he's obviously a good coach. He's competent. Like I'm not trying to like say he's not a good coach, but maybe a little bit overrated.
Well, you also got his guy in Gordon Hayward, and I know this is not the same Gordon Hayward, but I mean, they spent a ton of money on him. I'm just, I do think the question deserves to be asked. I mean, I think the so-called, look, and I kind of fall in the middle. I'm not an Alf's eye test guy, but I'm not a hardcore stat guy either. I probably lean more to the stat side, but I'm not all the way there. But the stat guys have not had a good postseason. Daryl Morey does not look – I mean, that's one of their favorites because he talks to them at Sloan Conference. Brad Stevens is another guy. I mean, seriously, though, that's why. And so they've not had a real good run here. Mm-hmm. And so it is interesting. And I think with Eric's hard for them to get their hands around because he follows the analytics, but he's not wed to the analytics. Mm-hmm. And I told this story again, yesterday. Eric told me after the 2013 finals that the analytics told him don't play Dwayne and LeBron together at all because it was a disaster, and don't play UD at all. And that was the Indiana series where he had the 2-8 for 9s, right? So yeah. I don't think he whereas I think Brad's a little bit more wed to him. All right, let's get back to this. And again, we're trying not to go too far ahead with the Lakers situation here right now.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
People are getting upset at me about that. I don't even want to tell them that I took 2 COVID tests and I'm clear to go to Orlando now. Not even telling anybody that.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
I'll be there Tuesday.
We'll take care of Ethan. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're going to set up a blockade on the turnpike.
Or now Denver's going to come back from 3-1 because Ethan's there.
Well, that may happen too. This comes in. Isn't it funny? We're hoping for games for certain people, but not. Well, throw that one back up, Alejandro. I need a little more time as a book. Isn't it funny? We're hoping for games for certain people, but not sure when it comes to Bam. Is it safe to say we can pretty much bank 19, 9, and 4 and a steal and a block? Pretty much.
Correct.
I mean, pretty much without running.
Star.
Yeah. I mean, now is he going to be totally healthy tonight? I'm not sure. I thought it was interesting that Spoelstra came out so clearly yesterday and said he's fine. Typically, they'll hold that back a little bit. He may not be totally fine, but they may not want Boston chopping at his wrist, and that may be part of this that plays into it also. So not totally sure. But, yeah, I think Bam, it's safe to say if they decide to start Hayward and pull Tice out that they don't believe that matchup was a wash. But I do think – yeah, that's right. My car's going to be sitting on bricks. As long as the bricks don't go through the window. I appreciate that. Bam Adebayo, it's interesting. I saw a couple of things on Twitter today, and I wish I remembered the site, saying that if you redrafted his draft now, he'd go number 1. And it was from a credible NBA Twitter account that I follow. I'm just – the amazing ascent of him from, the idiots like Colin Cowherd saying he's not a star, he's a 10-8 guy, to he's the best player in his draft. You would take him over Tatum, Mitchell, both of whom have distinguished themselves in the bubble. I mean, where are we on the BAM chart right now, Brady?
Well, I think it matters what you're kind of looking for. If you're talking about it from a team standpoint, if you need a natural score, you're going to go with Tatum, but a lot of people it just seem like they don't understand Bam, the impact he's had all season. A lot of people are just starting to realize this watching him after that block or even down the stretch of this playoff run. But really, he's been doing this all season with his impact on defense and on offense without the ball in his hands. That's just continually just the thing with Bam. He's actually putting up the numbers like you mentioned, that it's just coming together, that he's just going to keep filling up that stat sheet. But ultimately, that wasn't even a big problem throughout the season. He was just the people noticed this about him when he wasn't even doing filling up the stat sheet like that. So it's just, I think when you look at that, it's just going to be like a Heat type of move. When you're picking a player, you're going to obviously take Bam with the way he plays for this team. And with the injury thing, I think you'd worry about that with a lot of players, but with Bam, I don't think that's an issue because he's gonna play through anything, especially right now, go with 1 win away from the NBA Finals.
Manny Chang. Real quick, Alfredo. Manny Chang, our associate producer, puts this up. No Hayward in the starting lineup. So if that slipped by you, they decided to stay with their group. Go ahead, Alfredo.
Yeah, well, we have a great comparison in what we want in a big man, especially in today's NBA, right? Chris Bosh. And how close is Bam to being Chris Bosh? I say the day that Bam Adebayo stands at the 3-point line and they close out on him, it's a wrap. Because we know he's a better passer than Chris Bosh. He's just as good as Chris Bosh was in the pick and roll. He doesn't have as good an offensive feel for finding spaces for his jumper
that's
as
what
Chris Bosh did.
Yeah,
Bam,
very few guys in history have had that though, Alfredo. Like, I mean, Bosh for a big,
and Dirk. I know that for like an 8-year period, it was Bosh and Dirk 1-2 from the mid range, 47%, 49%. They would trade the title every single year. But yeah, we're pretty close. Like, and in the post, you watch Bam's moves. He takes up space. He's not a giant guy, but he's a forceful guy. His moves are forceful, and they're at the cup, and he finishes. So we're close. We're close to getting the complete package, and maybe even better. Once he stands at the 3-point line and they close out on him, that's a wrap.
Yeah, the other guy was Aldridge. It was always Dirk, Aldridge, and Bosh. And people are complaining about my mic. I'm actually trying my computer and we're trying something a little different tonight. So we're going to see how this works. One thing I do want to mention, programming note: if the Heat win, we will be back here after the game. And yes, Alf will make an appearance after landing after 13 drinks on a flight back from San Francisco, where he's going to pay to watch the game. And he will be here briefly, but I'm not letting him host. Okay, he will be here, but I'm not letting him host. Okay, but he'll be here. If they lose, you can join Greg, Alex, and I on the podcast feeds. We're going to go there. Okay, so it's either going to be a party here, or it's going to be the world is ending over on the podcast feed.
Yeah, I'll get the press conference here if we lose. That's it.
If we lose, right? Alejandro will have the press conferences up, and we're still going to do the tweeting party here on this, so you can stay on this throughout the game. All right, let's get to it right now. Let's get to the – well, I got one more thing before we get to the picks. We talk about Bam, and we talk about Jimmy, and I believe that the Miami Heat fan base is now the most educated fan base in the NBA, and much more educated than it was during the Big Three era. I feel like the real fans stuck around. They kind of learned the game, to quote our friend Spoon, during the Big Three era, and I feel like the appreciation for players like Bam and what he does is not something that's shared by all NBA fan bases, which is one of the reasons I think Bam doesn't get the attention nationally that he gets locally. But anyway, Greg, put that in your pocket, because that may be something we talk about this week. Throw it in your pocket. All right, let's get to the picks. Is Herro Ray Allen? He might be. No, that's Jay Allen. Let's get to the picks. Alejandro, you go first.
I'm gonna go Miami Heat by 7 points.
Okay, short and simple. Alfredo.
Well, I said in the last one that I expected a big shooting performance from Miami in the last game, and then I expected Boston to win this one. So I'm not gonna pick both teams. So I'll stick to the same prediction I had before. Although since Miami didn't have a monster shooting production in the last game, it could come this game and they could be headed to the finals. But I'll stick with my old predictions, and I have two.
Who's winning?
What I said last time, Boston.
I don't know what you're saying.
And the Heat close it out in 6.
Okay, you were much clearer on the Dolphins show where you stood last night. All right, and I won money on that one too. All right, Greg, I'm going to let Brady go last because all anybody cares about is his pick. Go ahead.
It's true. Nostradamus over there. So I said Heat in 5 on our first pregame show to start this series, and we are trending in that direction. So the Heat are going to get a victory tonight, and it is all about the guts. So let's do this. Heat in 5.
Carmen Beat, I'm not going to be blamed for that, okay? That's not – Alex is on a plane. He should have scheduled better, okay? I don't have anything to do with that. I'm torn on this. I said Heat in 7 before the series. And so, I feel like I'm hedging against myself. But I really want to tweet Heat in 5 reasons after the game. And so, because I'm setting that up, Heat by 5. Brady.
Yeah, I said Heat in 7 as well, but I'm changing that as well. I think Heat win tonight behind Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro, big games from beyond the arc. And I'm going to say Heat by 9.
Heat by 9. All right. Post-game show, I don't know who's sponsoring tonight, but again, we'll be back here. Stay on this feed. If you want to follow the whole game, you'll be checking our tweets. Alejandro will be monitoring it. We'll be back. I don't think we're going to do a halftime show. I know Lynette, others were asking us for it. Not sure we're going to do that tonight, although if it gets totally intolerable, Alejandro, I'm going to text you or Manny and make sure
we'll be here. It's going to be the same link, so you can get in here whenever you want.
we'll just, maybe we'll just pop back in.
Yes.
It is true. Thomas Jones says watching the Heat with the big three and after the big three, it's crazy how much. It's a very educated fan base. This fan base does not get enough credit for that. I know it because I was on the other side dealing with fans all the time, and now I've hired them all. All right, we'll be back at some point. Check out 5reasonsports.com. And again, go to the website, okay? You want to keep us in business? 10%. I'm giving you 10% off. Plus, if you buy like 3-4 shirts, the shipping charges go down too. So, all right, we're gonna end that on the Maria Taylor comment. Have a great night.
All right, we're gonna keep reading your comments here while we wait for the beginning of the game. Ethan's gonna leave in a second. We're gonna kick him out of here so he can enjoy the game with his daughter over there. And thank you all of you for sending your messages. Whatever Brady says, yes, we all agree, Stephen. And thank you. Greg has guts. My first Heat memory was the Miami versus New York City 99 series. By the way, talking about Miami versus New York, the Marlins are beating the Yankees right now 3-0. So the Marlins are still in the fight for the playoffs. We're going to be doing our own show about the Marlins later. Greg always has the guts. Heat going 5-0-5. So let's go Heat. We have how about remind them boys, F the Pistons. Gotta love Brady. Thank you guys for all your messages. We're really glad that you guys can be with us today. It's gonna be a special day for Miami. We're sure of this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep reading all your comments, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna play some of the media press conferences that Eric Spoelstra had yesterday, talking about this upcoming game. Jay King says it's gonna be Heat by 12. Bala said Heat by 9. I said Heat by 7. So we were kind of close there. Heat up, Heat by 6, says Adrian. Miami fans actually watch the games. Yo, unlike ESPN. Yes, you're right. We're all kind of sick of ESPN's comments and analysis at this point. So you guys can get your Miami Heat coverage here on 5 Reasons. So does that mean Heat by 18 with a minute to go before the refs get desperate for a Celtics win? Well, hopefully they don't get desperate earlier than that, and we can enjoy of Miami Heat win without the refs just fucking everything up. We have anyone remember Alec Kessler? I don't want Ethan around this team. Well, he's still in Miami, so you guys can go get him right after the game. I remember seeing Wade in his first playoffs with Odom and Grant. Great memories, man. Great memories. PJ Brown was all silent, low key, and then he flipped Charlie Ward that game. That was awesome. Baby Goat is in the chat. Yes. I know you guys aren't watching ESPN, but Paul Pierce is being such a hater. Well, that's what he does, and that's why he sucks all the time. He never gets one right when he's asked about an analysis or a prediction. So just forget about him and watch 5 Reasons here with us. Heat by 8 if refs are solid. Heat by 12. Let's go Heat. Heat by 7, but take away 3 because of the refs. Who's going to be top scorer tonight? I got Jimmy or Dragic. Iggy might close it out. Well, the guys didn't say that, but I'm gonna go with Bam Adebayo today as the top scorer, and then Goran Dragic follow him. Baby Goat's in the chat. Yes, Fidel, please set him up with a microphone and a headphone set. Yes, we've been trying that, so maybe that's something for next season, right? Get Ethan a mic. Let's make it a hashtag. Get Ethan a mic. No, he has one. He just doesn't use it for this broadcast, but for podcasts he does. So I don't know. Yo, Paul Pierce really hates the Heat. Well, you know what to do with Paul Pierce. Just turn it down, turn it off, whatever. Watch the Heat to target Kemba on defense. Paul Pierce is fittingly wearing black tonight for his team funeral. Remember when Odom was on the Heat and not with a Kardashian? Yes, he was one of the best at that point. And by the way, we're all wearing black too because we're ready to just finish this season. Finish this series against the Boston Celtics. PJ Brown, Philip Anwar, his moments. Tyler Herro, it's a baby goat. When the Heat win, Paul Pierce will cry in pain. Do we see Cantor tonight? Probably. Next season? No. For the finals. Well, he's going to be traveling to Orlando, so I'm sure he's not going to take any extra luggage. So I don't know if he's going to get that mic set for the finals, but he should. He definitely should. Do you think the Heat match up well with the Lakers? Yes, they do. they match up with anybody right now. I mean, if they beat the Celtics, they're beating the. I mean, if they beat the Bucks, they're beating the Celtics. I think they can beat anybody, even if it's the Lakers or the Nuggets over there in the West Conference Finals. Celtics again in 3- in the odds. Kevin Abreu, we need Jake Crowder, I guess, and Duncan Robinson to go off tonight. Yes, they have been missing so many shots, like open shots, and that's also why some of these games have been closer than they should have. Like last game, it should have been a Miami Heat win by 15 or something like that. And yes, I agree with you. We need them both to go off and have a great game. Let me see. Paul Pierce still has Jason Terry. Okay. Post traumatic stress disorder. Paul Pierce is about to eat ice cream in his boxer after the game. Yes, they're going to lose. Go Heat. Let's go Boston Celtics. We have a Celtics guy here. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. You guys are not winning tonight. Tony Morales, hopefully Duncan hits 4 or 5 threes tonight. Yes, and we know Duncan. He's going to start shooting early, so get ready for that early. Hopefully it's an early show from Duncan Robinson. Let's go with Jay King. This will be just like Big Three era when those teams used to win almost every series in 5. Hopefully that's the case. But I don't know. We can talk about this. Do you think this team is more dominant than that one was? Because they just lost 2 games in this playoffs, so that's pretty impressive. Let's go with Butler wants that ring. Yes, we all want it. Fat Boy Pierce tears will be yummy. Ryan's Proviero. Yeah, we're wearing black because we look good in it. Paul Pierce wearing it because he knows he'll be mourning tonight. Hopefully that's the case. Please tell Ethan not to go to Orlando. Please. Guys, I've been saying this to him since he was trying to go to the bubble for the beginning of the playoffs, and we got to keep him in Miami. Now it's your turn to do the work, the dirty work, to keep Ethan here in the South Florida area. Do you think we will see more zone defense or the WAP? Well, you know what? Zone defense is working, so they're probably going to keep doing that. Duncan is hitting 6 3-pointers. You heard it here first. Okay, 6 3-pointers, so at least 18 points for Duncan Robinson tonight against the Celtics. Let's keep going. Do you think the Miami Heat is the most underrated team in this year? Well, it has to be. I mean, even if the Nuggets come back from that series against the Lakers, I mean they're a 3 seed, so it's not like it shouldn't be a big surprise. And on the other side, the Heat, they should have not been the 5th seed anyway, but they were going to be 4th, and I think that's a big surprise for them. I thought they were going to be in the playoffs, but I never thought they were going to make it so far. Duncan will be the highest pointer in this game. Okay, we have a lot of people beginning to believe in Duncan Robinson, so let's see if that works. Boston Celtics in 7. Well, that's your only chance, Eric. We'll see. Good luck tonight, man. Good luck. 15 threes tonight. It's absolutely needed. Get out of the chat, Celtics fans. I mean, they can come in. That's fine. That's more money for us. So thank you for coming here and not watching the Celtics pregame, because that's probably boring, like everything in Boston right now. Let's go with if the Lakers face the Heat in the finals, does Riley take over coaching duties and just lace it up the sneakers? Well, maybe he retires after beating the Lakers in the finals. That would be a good closure for him. I don't know. We'll see. Who gets minutes off the bench besides Tyler for us tonight? Well, it has to be Gudala, of course. We know he's gonna play. We know he's gonna play. So I don't know. Do you guys want to see none, or do you guys rather see Hill or DJJ? I don't know. We'll see. Brady Hawk on Twitter. Duncan Robinson bounce back game tonight. Thinking 5 threes for him and 3 triples for Herro. Splash Bros 2.0. Yes. Follow this man. Follow Brady Hawk. We're going to be monitoring his tweets all over throughout the game. So we'll be with you guys there. Heat and Los Angeles Lakers will meet on the final. Let me pull up the starting lineup for tonight while we go to Twitter to go see the other messages that people are posting right now. Let me go pick it up real quick before we go, and that way we can start monitoring what people are saying on Twitter before the game today, game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So Oh, let me see something. The Marlins are winning 3-2 now in New York, so it's a 3-2 game there. The Marlins need to win to make it to the playoffs, and they are on their way there. So hopefully they keep winning that game. Okay, the league is acting. I'm sorry. Okay, let me put it back. The league is acting like we came out of nowhere. We saw what Riley was building. Yes, we saw it. It was hard for a couple of years, and now we're getting results. Rich Vela, a Heat about to ascend into a new level and show why we belong in the finals. Herro, round 2 tonight. Well, hopefully, and we have a Celtics guy, but yes, hopefully Tyler Herro can do something similar. Even if he scores like 25 points, that will be awesome. How deep does the Heat bench go tonight? I mean, they were using only 7 last time. I don't know if they can do that on with 2 games in 3 days. That's going to be hard. So they're probably going to go to 9 today. Robinson has to shake loose tonight. Dominate in a different way. That team had star power. This team has complete team advantage. Well, there you go. That's an answer to the question: which team was more dominant, the big three or this one right now in the playoffs? Deep. Why do I love this team more than any big three era team? LeBron made the Heat unlikable nationwide. Unfortunately, yes, a lot of people hating on the Miami Heat at that point. Drop Ethan's. Addy well, take care of the rest of the day. Say less. Kendrick Nunn for the game winner. That'll be a surprise having Kendrick Nunn closing out the game. OKC are also underrated for me. Oh, we have some money. Thank you, guys. Who was it? Genwil Bolandres. Genwil Bolandres. Thank you. Thank you very much for sending us some money here. We appreciate it. You can do the same using the super chats down below. And thank you. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Here we are. Do you think Riley has been secretly waiting for the chance to see LeBron again? Well, they probably see each other a lot more than what we actually get to know. Jay needs to find his touch. Yes, he's been a little bit off in the last couple of games. Duncan is saving himself for the finals. Yes, well, hopefully we get to the finals and then he goes off. That'll be great, and especially against a Lakers team that has so many problems with the field goals. They're very good inside, but they're not a very defensive team on the outside. So we'll see. We need rookies first team, not bubble none. Yeah, well, he's been dealing with a lot of different stuff in the bubble. So we have to understand that these are people too sometimes, Honestly, never thought that we would be a game away from the finals this year. Really pretty damn incredible. Yes, that's true. And here we have our friends. There's one player from our roster who knows how to beat LeBron. That's Andre Iguodala. Yes, he beat them with the with the Golden State Warriors. So yes, and Iguodala was a key player for that. In that series, he was the MVP and he guarded LeBron and he was awesome. So yes, thank you, and thank you for sending us those $5. We appreciate it. Okay, that's an interesting question. Zoom parade. Well, we're gonna have Well, I guess I don't know. I mean, today we went to phase 3, so in a couple of weeks, maybe we are a little bit more ahead. We'll see. Maybe it's more of a controlled celebration, and they allowed some people. We have to wait. We're not there yet. Duncan Robinson is definitely going off tonight. I think Duncan will have a big night. Yeah, that's an old pick, but I bleed UK blue. University of Kentucky, I guess. Herro and Bam. So yes, there you go. So you should update your profile picture and get a Miami Heat shirt or a UK shirt. That's fine. LeBron won it. Spo fired and embarrassed 4 years, and then left. Is a clown. Left us in a clown way for years. Let having people. Okay. Let's see. Stephen Wong, social distance parade. Yes, something like that. I think that's what's going to happen. None going off for 0 minutes. They don't want Kendrick Nunn there. Great Paul going to give LeBron the firm handshake. Yes. But Riley's my father, but he won't admit it. So you are Armando Riley. Nice to meet you, Armando Riley. Tyler Herro speaking at the right time. Yes, he is. Hopefully, he has a lot more of those with the Miami Heat uniform in his career. Let's go Heat, and let's go Ethan Mike. Thank you, Benny, and thank you for your $5. We're going to leave you there with your leave your message there so you guys can enjoy this for a second. Give me a second so I can post and bring back the 5 reasons account. So we're gonna start our monitoring of the tweets. Here we go. We have a tweet by Ethan Skolnick already, and we're gonna share it here. So we're gonna start our live tweeting party, and I have to change the name and everything. There we go, and there it is. We'll go zoom in, and if the Heat eliminate the Celtics, does that eliminate Paul Pierce too? So there you go. He has a comment for you guys that have been talking about Paul Pierce. So he should give LeBron that shoulder bump as a reminder. Yes, well, especially after beating him. The Lakers' path was weaker than the Heat. Well, I mean, they did finish first in their conference, so that's what you get when you don't finish first. Miami Heat is relevant again. Free agency is looking good for the team, especially with the cap space. Yes, we have a lot of space there to bring more stars to the team, so that's going to be a good future for Miami. Hopefully, they can build a great team for the next decade. Let's go Heat. Then you say, I just want to see LeBron versus UD in the finals. Well, hopefully that means that we're winning and we're blowing them off, and that's it. And that's how UD gets to play. Trust me, Spo and Riley are cooking something up if they see LeBron in the finals. Getting off to a strong start is essential tonight. We need to end this tonight, and the game's about to start, guys. You haven't let me set up here. That's a lot of messages, and thank you very much for all your messages. We appreciate it very much, and thank you for joining us for this pregame and then the live tweeting party, because we have a lot of fun every time we do this with you guys. Duncan Robinson is gonna burn them tonight. Hopefully that's the case, and we get that 4th win and we advance to the finals. Miami need to win tonight, be more than 12 points, or the ref will still steal the game. Like, they're gonna rob it. Yes, we have to be very careful with the refs. I mean, they've been doing it. Every wrong call has been against the Miami Heat. I know you guys have noticed too. So it's been the normal situation there. So let's go here. I have to watch it here on ESPN and turn it down so you guys can listen to the noise there. Get your noise there. Let's go. I just can't stand national media when the Heat succeed. It's mostly because a player from the opposing team just didn't play well. Yes, that's getting a little bit old, right? So what we're gonna do while we wait for the actual beginning of the game to start, we're gonna play Eric Spoelstra's press conference here in the channel while we wait for that game to start. So we're gonna go with Eric Spoelstra and what he had to say earlier today or yesterday. I don't remember when he talked. Let me set it up here real quick. And okay, getting started. Let me share it here so you guys can see it too. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. And we're gonna go with Eric Spoelstra. He's ready there. I'm gonna share him on the screen. Now you guys can hear me. Good. So keep sending your messages. I'm here with you guys. So thank you very much for joining the pregame, and we're going to start the live tweeting party with Eric Spoelstra and his words about this 5th game of the series.
What's a day like today? We just stuck with our routine. Watched film, trying to make sure that we continue to get better in this series. And it seemed like there was good attendance. That's a good sign for tomorrow? Yeah, everybody got their treatment, rest. Today is another day of rest and recovery. I think everybody knows on both sides, what to expect tomorrow.
All right, next up is Jack. Let's go ahead.
So it was yesterday.
Just a couple for you. First of all, in regards to what you expect tomorrow, is there an expectation of a reinvention, or is it pretty much what you saw in Game 3, or maybe even a fusion of that?
Yeah, I don't know. You have to continue to try to get better as the series goes on. There'll be 2 extremely desperate, urgent teams. And that's what it's all about, in the playoffs.
And then the other question was, I was kidding Ronnie last night on postgame that we've run out of superlatives and adjectives to talk about Tyler Herro. Of course, you cleared the path for us because you just got to give him rookie humility, tongue in cheek. But what is the best way to describe what we're seeing? I mean, literally, even Dwayne co-signed the fact that it was nice having the rookie scoring record for 16 years that was moved by 10 points.
Yeah, I mean that you put it in that kind of context. That makes you recognize that he is uncommon. But he puts in a great deal of work. He's coachable. He's at it every single day. Even today, the pre-practice group, he was in there before the head coach even got in there today, getting in his work. But that's not something that he's changing, just because of people are noticing now. This is who he's been all year long.
All right, up next is Ira. Go ahead.
Eric, I guess with Bam, where does he stand with that left arm, wrist, or shoulder? Can you sort of fill us in on that? Apparently, he said it was aggravated from a previous injury.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Was he able to work in your practice today?
He was able to work extremely intensely in our film session.
Okay, no work on the court. And was there any kind of testing required or done on that?
A lot of ice.
Can you just fill us in? Is it a wrist? Is it a shoulder? Is it an arm?
It's a little bit of everything. This is a physical series. He'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric.
All right, Barry, go ahead.
Hi, Eric. What did you see from Solomon that led to your decision to use him last night? Anything in practice last couple weeks? And how tough a call is it to go only 3 deep off the bench? Your team obviously is very well conditioned, but did that concern you at all in terms of stamina?
Our guys are in great shape, but I also have respect and confidence in everybody on our bench. It might be a little bit different tomorrow. That's just the way we went last night. Solo has really been working behind the scenes. One of my favorite parts of this whole bubble experience is just seeing the guys work. And have a lot of opportunities, with gym time and whether the guys have been in the rotation or not. They've really been putting in the time. And Solo has been one of those guys. You can see it. He's transformed his body. He's great shape. He's a veteran. So he's been in a lot of these experiences before.
Thanks.
All right, Jeff Zogit.
The other night when you were asked about a particular defense, you said it's not necessarily about scheme, it's more about competition. If you'll indulge for just a second, maybe big picture on, the data shows
that's
the team
his starting five for today. Dragic,
even if it's just a little bit
Butler,
more,
Crowder, and
the Lakers
Adebayo.
used it the other night to get back in it against Denver. Ultimately, what's the purpose of it? I know teams don't go to it for extended stretches, but what do you get out of it and the aim is on?
Yeah, Jeff, it's everybody's different. I actually didn't see that half of the game, with the Lakers using it. For us, it's a scheme that we've used all season long. So it's some games we use it, some games we don't. It looked ridiculously bad in Game 3. We used it more last night, but we'll see what happens, in Game 5. But we're not just throwing it out there, in this series, not having used it during the season.
All right, Christos with Greece is up next.
Hello, Coach. First of all, in the 3 wins against the Celtics, you have 3 different players as leaders. The game 1 was Bam, game 2 was Dragic, and game 4 was Tyler Herro. What it means about your effort and about your game and about your
a couple points.
Your approach on the game.
Yeah, a couple points. That's who we've been all year long. We've had a lot of different contributors and different leading scorers or multiple guys in double figures. That's just how we're built. We're not a team that, for better or worse, there's it doesn't mean anything. It's just we don't have a team where somebody's going to score 50. And then secondly, Boston's defense is really good. So you're going to have different guys step up, and based on that particular game, it might be different guys than the previous game. And that's what you've seen so far.
And about Game 5, would we expect the same approach about the Game 4? Because you have 7 players, 7 players rotation. We expect something the same.
We'll see. I don't know. I need more time to think about it.
Thank you.
All right, up next is David with Italy. David, go ahead. Unmute your line.
Okay, can you hear me now? Coach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Coach, you've been in many closing games in your career. What is different this year with this type of team compared to, for example, the last time you went so far in the playoffs?
I don't know. It's just different teams, different experiences. I just want to make, we want to give everything to this group and not compare them. This whole experience of being in the playoffs here in bubble really has been extraordinary. We're grateful to be a part of it. We're grateful to have this group together.
All right, Andres Lopez is next.
Thank you. Coach, the Wall Street Journal reported how both you and Brad Stevens have had a very close working relationship with Coach Crutchfield from Nova Southeastern, a small D2 school. As an NSU student myself, I was curious if you could talk a little bit about your relationship with Coach Crutch and what he has to offer in his program that you guys can imitate in an NBA team.
Well, he's local now, so I can't remember who mentioned him or if I heard him. I don't really remember, but since he was right up the road, we just decided to give him a call and see if he wanted to meet and talk shop. It was after our season 2 years ago where we didn't make the playoffs. We had a lot of time during the spring. And that was one of the visits we made. And he was really accommodating. Obviously a terrific coach, but just a super nice guy. And his staff was awesome. We went up there and just talked shop for 5-6 hours. It was a lot of fun.
All right, and your last question there is for Mark Spears. Go ahead, Mark.
Yes, Coach. What do you remember about your sales pitch to Jimmy? And also, you guys keep saying you guys are made for the bubble, but for the no getting a haircut yet, Jimmy, why is he so made for this?
It's tough to say because nobody's ever experienced this. I just think you need some level of discipline and routine and mental toughness for this whole life experience. I think everybody, has, those things could help in a scenario like this, but there's nothing to compare it to. And then as far as that first meeting, it was great. We just felt like we were speaking the same language. We have the same shared values about competition. And if it works for us, we don't have to explain it. We don't have to apologize for it. And maybe, by times we've been criticized for that, or he, who cares? But I'm just really grateful we got him.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. That's it.
All right. That was Eric Spoelstra. That was yesterday after practice. So thank you guys for staying here with us. The game's about to start, so we're going to go ahead and mention the starting 5 again for you guys. It's the same as usual. Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, and Bam Adebayo are going to be the 5 starting for the Miami Heat tonight. Let's go and watch. I'm going to go to Twitter because Ethan Skolnick just posted a video of Tyler Herro 10 months ago, and we want to see what he said about the rivals picking their own poison. So we're gonna go here. Give me a second, real quick here, so we can set it up real fast and can show it to you here on the stream. Don't worry, we're gonna put it so you guys can watch
Don't
it
shy away from
again.
taking a big shot. I want that.
Tyler, it looked like you were seeking shots down the stretch of the game and overtime. Just part of what you've always been about, looking for those shots down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't shy away from taking a big shot. I want confidence. So down the stretch, Jimmy trusted me with the ball. He got me in good spots, and I knocked down a couple threes.
You surprised they weren't closing out on you closer? They were leaving you a little bit of space there.
They had to pick their poison, either Jimmy or me. So, there's three other guys on the floor with us that will hurt them too. So, they had to pick their poison.
So that's the confidence that Tyler Herro has. He always had. Since he got to the Miami Heat this year, he's been that confident. So we're going to see. We're going to go back to Twitter and see what the guys are saying. So thank you very much for joining us in this live tweeting party. The game's about to start. And we're not watching ESPN. We're not putting the images here, of course, but we get to share here and send your comments because we like to interact with you guys. By the way, the Marlins are winning 3-2 in the fifth inning, so for now they're staying in that second place. Garrett Cooper hit a 3-run bomb in the first inning to right field. It would have been a fly ball here in Marlins Park, but it's a home run there. It is what it is. We get everything we can get from that field. So that's it for the Marlins are winning. The Phillies are also winning, so the distance will be the same, one game, and we will be doing something tomorrow about the Marlins. Even if they make it to the playoffs tonight, we're going to be doing something early in the morning. If not, we're going to be doing something tomorrow in the afternoon or Sunday in the afternoon. So let's go back to Twitter. Let's see what people are saying, especially in our 5 Reasons community here. Let's go and give me a second because that one wasn't working. So let me go and share this one better with you guys because this one is more fun. And that way we can experience the whole thing. Let me see if Rachel Nichols is doing her interviews today. I saw her by herself, I'm sorry. And let me see. Okay, here we are. Now we're back to the 5 Reasons profile. Let's see if Ethan has tweeted anything else. I sent Ethan a new header here with a nice background. He hasn't changed it. Go ahead and tell him. He always forgets. So, okay, no more tweets from Ethan. Let's see what people are saying about Heat Twitter. There's probably going to be a lot of excitement today because the Miami Heat is 1 win away from the NBA Finals. Even from Venezuela, we're getting Daniel Parra. He's my friend over there, and he's talking about the Miami Heat. Let's see what we got. Vamos ver. Brazil, Heatless Brazil. ABC, it's time. Heat Twitter. Let's do it. Let's close it out. Give me a second here. Okay, so you guys are looking. Let's do this. Vamos. Heat Twitter. And let me see. I swear the NBA never starts these games on time. Yes, we knew it, so that's why we're doing this live party. And let me see. Okay, nothing. I thought it was a home run by the Marlins, but no, it's a home run by somebody else for the Giants, who are also fighting for the playoffs. I swear the NBA never starts the game. Big game tonight. Let's close it out and get back to the finals where we belong. That's Kevin Osel. Justin hit Twitter. Let's go. Empezamos YouTube Live. They're trying to do the same as us. Nobody does it like 5 Reasons. Stephen K. hit Twitter. Time to finish this. Let's get it. This series was over for them before it was even started. It's a lot of confidence in Heat Twitter today. Let me see. Only 1 game. Why the hell can't they just start on time? Well, I mean, they have to make the most out of their TV time, so that's where they get their money. It is what it is. It's a business. Tyler's a damn ball kid. Now, I do not expect him to have another 38-point game, but you never know. I would not bet against him. Well, 30, maybe not 38, but 25 will be awesome too. The other was the second game in NBA story by Ricky. Yes. The truth spreading lies. Brendan Tobin, Paul Pierce. Well, Paul Pierce. We already know what Paul Pierce does to basketball nowadays. Great player, very bad analyst. So let's go, Luck and lock in and finish this series. Miami will head to the finals tonight. Hopefully that's the case. We can't read Japanese, but let me see. Let me see if we can translate. No, we can't translate. That's too bad. We don't get to know what he said. So put Jimmy Butler in the finals. Blowing a kiss to the Pacers. Bye-bye, Pacers. Let's go Heat. And yes, let's book Paul Pierce. Let's go and see what else people are saying about this. It's game time, Cristian Castillo. Game time, baby. Did somebody say game 5? Yes, we're all watching. We're all ready for this game. Muito nervoso, Andy Alá. Brasileiros, muitos brasileiros seguindo o Miami Heat. Muito perto da final da NBA. Let's go, Kyle Evans. Just 4 quarters. 4 quarters and we'll be back to the finals. Johnny Starks. Yes, a lot of excitement. Let's see what... Well, we don't want to listen to Stevens anyway. Okay, let's go. Game time, baby. Let's send the C's home tonight. Yes, bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Closeout game, Heat Twitter, teniendo la final de conferencia, en donde los Celtics se juegan la temporada versus el Heat Twitter. Aún así piensan ver el viernes botanero. A ver, bueno, en NBA Brasil, vai subir a bola para Miami Heat na Celtics, na ESPN Brasil. Como está el corazón de las fanaticadas? Como está el corazón das torcidas? That's a very... liquidará el Heat Twitter. My friend Daniel Parra from Venezuela. Closeout game. Boys, let's go. Heat Twitter. That's good. Game time, baby. One more win. Fellas, let's lock it in. Okay, let's end this. I believe in the Heat. They will win game 5. I'm glad the Heat snagged Tyler Herro from the Celtics. Yes, that was supposed to be the Celtics pick if the Heat didn't take him. That's, I mean, we wouldn't never know, but that's it. Okay, the game has started. It's 0-0, and we're gonna start with the score. We're gonna put the score up here so you guys can watch that for a second. I'm gonna take a rest, and it's a good start for the Miami Heat. So here we go. Good start for the Miami Heat. Here we go. That's awesome. That's what we need. We need more early points and early leads. That's good. Let's see what we got here. 5-3 now with a lot of time still to go. So thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to stay here. So send your messages. We're going to be reading and sharing everything that you guys are posting right here. So thank you very much. So early timeout for the Celtics. Good start for the Miami Heat. It was a 5-0 lead, and now it's a 6-point lead, 11-5 in the first couple of minutes, first 5 minutes, and it's Duncan Robinson leading the way for the Miami Heat. 7 points so far, one from the three line, of course, and then 2 layups to put the lead with the Heat with a 6-point lead at this point. It says, buena, ¿cómo estamos, mi rey? Todo bien, papá, todo bien por acá. Stephen Wynn says, as long as the Heat are keeping it close, I know we can close it out in the fourth. Yes, that's what they have been doing so far in the playoffs. Purple Rain says, Celtics looks sloppy, lol. LOL. Nice. Go Heat. Yes, let's go Heat. And we should make the most out of these moments because that's when you have to really punch him down. Don't let him go up. Don't let it come up. If they're down, finish them. And that's what we're going to try to do. So let's go back to Twitter and let's see what people are saying on Twitter about the Miami Heat. Let's go with the Heat Twitter account. And we're going to go back to the score as soon as they come back from that timeout. So let's remove this. Let's add this one. And there we go. We're going back to the Heat Twitter, our friends from Heat Twitter. So if you guys want to tweet and put it out there, we'll have it there. So Christos Taltas, we've heard this guy in the press conferences. So it's Duncan Robinson started really well tonight. Great start by the Heat. The Celtics started badly from the perimeter. 1 from 9 in those first couple minutes. Says, ojo, Duncan Robinson lleva 4 puntos en la pintura con 2 bandejas. Recordemos que Duncan llevaba toda la serie intentando solo tiros más allá del perímetro. Nuevo registro del jugador de Heat Twitter en estas finales. Scott says, let's do it for Pat. And he has a gif of Pat Riley clapping his hands in the 4th game of that Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7, a long time ago. Duncan Robinson com 2 bandejas. Meu Deus, hoje é o dia do hit demais. No Brasil, Brazilians also having their saying in this game. Ótimo início do Heat defensivamente e o Duncan Robinson não só chutando de 3, contribuindo com infiltração, atacando o aro. There you go. A lot of Brazilians watching this game. O jogo não começa nada bom para os Celtics. Nothing good for the Celtics in the beginning of the game. The Heat needs to close this series off tonight and head on to the NBA Finals. Bench has to keep the momentum when they come in the game. Question is, who will get the nod tonight? It was just Iggy, Herro, and a short 4 minutes for Solomon Hill on Wednesday. Yes, we should have some Tyler Herro coming up soon. So we're going to go back to the bubble because I guess they started over again. So we're going to go back there and keep monitoring what's going on in the 5th game of the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, so we have a timeout going on in the bubble. It's 17-13 for the Miami Heat. Let's go through the top scorers for each team so far in this first quarter of the Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And then we're going to go back to Twitter and see what people are saying on Twitter about the Miami Heat. Okay, let's go. So in the official box score, we have 7 points for Duncan Robinson, 4 for Butler, 4 for Crowder, 2 for Bam Adebayo. Those are the 17 points. 4 rebounds for Butler, 3 for Crowder, 1 for Adebayo, and 1 for Dragic. 2 rebounds for Andre Iguodala, who has been playing for 3 minutes so far. The same with Tyler Herro, who missed his only shot so far. So yes, different one. You're right. This is a super long commercial break. They're making that money, baby. Make that money. You can also help us here in 5 Reasons, sending your money through super chats. Go down there, click the money button, and send a super chat, and that way you can support our work here on 5 Reasons. And let's go hit, like Tyler Franklin says, even though we don't like his picture of James Harden there with La Barba. Okay, let's go back. What's up with the Boston Celtics? 5 from Kemba Walker, 3 from Smart, 2 from Tatum, and 3 from Jaylen Brown. That's what they have so far. So let's go back to Twitter land and see what they had to say about this Miami Heat. That was an early message. Off to a great start for the Miami Heat. It was a great start. It was, what was it, 17-5. So that was a great start, but it hasn't been the same thing. So Gordon Hayward, well, here we go. He tweeted again, I'm waiting. Los de Boston no se alejan del marcador. Boston's getting close in the scoreboard. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Gordon Hayward, most overrated player in the association, doesn't seem to care anymore. Was a bad pickup in Boston. Celtics should have left him out of the rest of the series. Theis is more athletic and aggressive. And Theis has been very a pain in the ass for Bam Adebayo there in the paint. So George Michael Perez, loved the intensity we came out with. Let's keep it going, boys. So we're going to go back and keep monitoring what's going on there in the bubble. The game is back on, and the Heat has a 6-point lead so far. Oh, let me turn this on, and we're back. The Miami Heat's winning after the first quarter, 26-18. And thank you for all your messages. Let's see. Hill is in. Yes, Solomon Hill's playing so far. So it's 26-18 the final score. Duncan Bank, they're dogging Duncan, and Duncan is having a great game. So what some of you were commenting early on here. If Spo can rotate the bench in and maintaining the lead, this is over, according to Stephen 1. So let's see. It's been a very good first quarter for Duncan Robinson so far. It's the leading scorer guy for the Miami Heat, 12 points and 1 rebound. And let me see how many threes. Only 2 threes out of 4 attempts. So that's been a good game for Duncan Robinson so far. 4 points for Butler, 4 for Crowder, and 4 for Adebayo. And Dragic has a couple of points too in the first quarter. Let's go to Heat Twitter and see what they have to say about this first quarter so far. Let's give you a live image of what's going on there on Twitter. And let's read 5 reasons. Our friends from 5 reasons. What are they saying on Twitter about this first quarter? We're going to go to Ethan first, and then we're going to go to Brady and maybe Alf if we have time, and maybe Greg also. Greg Sylvander, one of our top guys there on 5 on the floor. So first quarter over. Heat 26, Celtics 18, Robinson 12, and what we just did. Boston is 5-4 of 20 overall. So there you go. Miami's missed 6 from 3, but still ahead by 8 points. And go ahead and grab a Biscayne Bay brew if you have one close to you. You can visit their website, and they're going to tell you exactly where they sell them. Mark Jackson making the Splash Brothers comparison with Robinson and Herro is significant. Whatever you thought of Jackson as a coach, I won't forget him saying that Curry and Clay would be the best shooting backcourt in NBA history, and few taking him seriously at that point. So the 3 out of the 8 players in the Heat rotation right now were acquired for Winslow, Waiters, and James Johnson at the deadline. Yes, so great acquisitions by the Miami Heat in this deadline. David Fernandez talking about the Miami Marlins, who are, by the way, winning at Yankee Stadium, and they are getting into the playoffs so far. I mean, not yet, because the Phillies are tying their game 4-4, but if the Marlins win and the Heat and the Phillies lose, the Marlins will be in the playoffs for the first time since 2003. So that's an exciting moment for the Miami fans. So we'll keep an eye on that. The ball isn't in Dragic's hands as much tonight. That's some of the comments from Ethan on 5 reasons. Spoelstra must not be comfortable with Olynyk right now, because in the regular season, he absolutely would have played against this lineup. Mark Jackson is just saying stuff. Heat's small lineup statistically has not worked. And okay, let's go. Tyler Herro's best role tonight might be as a decoy. Boston will overplay him, and they have to after what happened there in Game 4, 37 points. And we're going to go back to the action, and we'll be back with more tweets a little bit later tonight. So thank you very much, and we'll be back very, very soon. Okay, so we have a commercial break now. The Miami Heat's winning 40-28. It's been a good first half for the Miami Heat. And let's read some of the comments. Stephen 1, thank you for all the comments that you're saying. But let's go to Twitter real fast. We're going to go watch what Greg Sylvander is saying about this game. He's saying team effort, KO, talking about Kelly Olynyk. Hope for a clean second quarter so Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam stay out of foul trouble rest of the way. Yes, hopefully that's what happens in this rest of the first quarter. Then Greg is retweeting something that Nekaya said. On one hand, Boston surely isn't going to shoot like 8% from the field for the rest of the game, but this hasn't been the case of random up and misses. It's making 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 efforts in a possession to create a look. Miami's dialed all the way in. It will come. The ball isn't in Dragic's hands as much tonight. It will come. Catch me over, whatever. Yeah, you can watch the Herro running up and down. And okay, so that's what we got from Greg Sylvander so far. So the Miami Heat is winning right now, and they will be going to the finals if they can keep this same rhythm. It says, there you go, Hill. Good pass, make an impact. Do something on the floor. We're going to go back to the game. It's being played right now. And thank you very much for all your comments, and thank you for being here with us and enjoying the guts check, like Greg Sylvander says, and being here with us in the live tweeting party here in the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. We're going to go back to the score, and we'll be back soon to talk to you guys because I have to watch the Marlins, who are winning right now in New York at Yankee Stadium in the 8th inning. So we'll be back in a little bit. See you soon. So we have a timeout on the floor, and it's 44 Miami Heat, 37 for the Boston Celtics. Thank you guys for your messages, and we're going to go back to Twitter and see what they are saying, what people are saying about Heat Twitter, and even in French, Brazil, in Portuguese, a lot of different languages showing up here in our feed, and we're going to go through all of them. So thank you to Stephen Wong. He's been an entertainer here in this one. So, o passe picado de Solomon Hill para encontrar o Bam Adebayo. Let's go to Heat Twitter and let's see what they're saying about the Miami Heat right now. Bye. Get out of here, Prime Video. Okay, can't let Boston get those easy, fast break buckets. Gotta get back. Miami Heat, gotta get back. Jaylen Brown gets behind Heat's defense and throws it down. Bleed green against the Miami Heat. That was the last basket before the timeout, before he got to 44-37. Jaylen, orgulho Celta, muita gente do Brasil watching the game. Miami plays larger than their scouting report, and tonight it's a proof. Duncan can pull the ball on the floor. Goran can be disruptive on defense. Jay Crowder can shoot. This team was championed as a success without stars, but there are stars everywhere. Doing this, the Miami Heat trying to finish the sweep. Well, it's a gentleman's sweep for some of you that call it that way. Jogo 5. Si el Miami Heat metiera todo lo open shot que tira, cómodo estuviera. Por más de 20. No se mete el triple. Jaylen para 3. Sorry, Marcus, you silly flops. Don't work when your lifeless team trails 3-1 in the series with your backs packed, ready to finally leave the bubble. Thank you for coming. And this is Celtics Brazil. Give Solomon Hill his flowers. Quality minutes. Yes, thanks to Solomon Hill. I mean, he's been very useful for the Miami Heat in the last couple of games, and he's been a surprise because he didn't watch a lot in the first couple of games. Stephen Wang says defenses lit by Heat. Spoelstra calls timeout. Good call. Settle the team down to end the first half. Bring back Dragic. Go, Miami Heat. Russell Briones. The offensive miscues. Yeah, I mean, it's been okay, guys. It's been almost 2 quarters, and the Celtics have only scored 37 points. So it's been a good defensive game for the Miami Heat. It's just a couple of minutes, a couple of plays here and there when the Heat haven't been as sharp, but they're actually pretty great. So the way Miami Heat's playing right now is the kind of team ball that wins titles. Yes, and that blowing keys. Keep playing aggressive, Miami Heat. Yes, that's what we have. So thank you very much for staying here with us, and we're going to go back to monitoring the game as it's played here with the live score thanks to ESPN. So see you in a little bit. It's nice listening to the ESPN guys complaining about the referees. Oh my God, shut up and play. Here we go. Go Miami. Jay made a bucket, but maybe gets him going. The bucket counts, I think. Walker floppy. So I didn't count, but the Butler had to play, had to shoot two from the free throw line. So he going 6 players having scored 20 or more points at the end of the game. How does the basket not count if he was foul shooting? I guess they saw him being fouled right before he got the shot up. That's what I guess. So that's what we see. Okay, so we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, guys, so here in a little bit, we're going to have Ethan Skolnick coming up for the halftime show. We're going to do a halftime show for you guys since ESPN sucks and we have the best coverage of the Miami Heat. So that's what we're going to do here in a couple of minutes. As soon as the first half is over, we're going to have Ethan Skolnick of 5 Reasons coming in for the halftime show. Okay, so hang on in there, and thank you for staying here with us so far. So what do you guys think about this play? Is it flopping from Walker? Is it flopping from Dragic? Is it flopping from both? I'm kind of getting tired of these calls, these foul calls. It just doesn't help the sport, but whatever. Kemba gets an Oscar for flopping, and Kemba flopper. Yes, I agree with you guys. He's a flopper. So we are going to have Ethan Skolnick coming on here in a little bit for the halftime show, with the Miami Heat winning this first half so far against the Boston Celtics. Is the fifth game of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're waiting for it to just end those last couple of seconds. Another chip foul for the Celtics. We know how, it's been ridiculous in the last couple of games. They're trying to do whatever they can to keep the Celtics alive. The Miami Heat's winning so far in this first half. So let's wait until it's over, and then we'll be here with the halftime show. Let me see. DJJ, 10 deep. So yes, 10 players have played so far for the Miami Heat. It's been, let's go by minutes, 21, almost 22 minutes for Duncan Robinson, 18 for Dragic, 16 for Crowder, 16 for Butler as well, 14 for Adebayo, 11 for Iguodala, 9, almost 10 for Herro, and then we also have almost 4 for Kelly Olynyk. So that's it for the first half, and we're gonna have the guys from 5 Reasons coming back in to talk a little bit about this first half and what they have seen from both teams. Here in a second, we have Ethan Skolnick and Greg Sylvander ready to jump in here with us. So what's up, guys? Welcome back.
Welcome back to the halftime show. This is the Spare You from Paul Pierce program. That's what we're calling it. It's sponsored by the wheelchair that he needed to get off the court in the finals. I know you guys don't want to watch that. I even saw that ESPN was promoting its halftime show by saying the truth hurts, which means we're going to get 8 minutes of Paul Pierce whining. So Greg and I will try to do something a little bit different on here tonight. Let's start here. Greg, we talked before the game about, I didn't think Tyler Herro was going to have a huge game tonight. I thought he'd be more of a decoy than anything else. He's looked at a rhythm, but you get it from the other Splash brother, so to speak. I thought the most interesting comment Mark Jackson's ever made as a broadcaster was basically comparing the two of them to the Splash brothers, because if anybody would know, he knows. He was the one who identified that. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Mark Jackson as a coach, but when he had Curry and Thompson before the world realized how good they were, he said they'd be the best shooting backcourt in NBA history. And he just compared Herro and Robinson to them. And Duncan tonight got it started with the Celtics kind of stuck in mud. He got it started by getting to the basket a little bit, and until things started to open up. And in a lot of ways, his performance has been the difference, because Jimmy's been good, Bam's been fine. Dragic hasn't really gotten going. He's had a couple of moments. Herro has struggled a little bit. They've needed what they've gotten from Duncan.
7 points from their bench. That's generally not something that is conducive to Miami Heat victories. 22% three-point shooting. This is a reoccurring theme. Is usually not conducive to Miami Heat victories. And ultimately, they are winning. So it's kind of a weird circumstance where I feel like Boston has found some things that work. I think Canner, they alluded to it on the broadcast. I think Canner needs to start in the second half. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
I agree.
And what it'll be interesting to see is that in the third quarters of more than one playoff game, the Heat have looked to get Bam going, whether it's getting him on those lobs at the basket and things like that. And I'm interested to see how they utilize him offensively in the second half, because I don't know if this is as much an indication of maybe the comfort level of his wrist or if it's just the game flow, but I'm interested to see that. I think Dragic still has a ways to go to get going. Crowder, too, has been an underrated player in this game from a defensive perspective, has 5 rebounds. I know he hasn't hit a 3 yet. I feel like we just got to get one of those to go, and he can kind of turn the tides on his efficiency from that end. But Duncan and Jimmy, they're carrying the load. Jimmy looks like he wants to advance. We talked about it in the pregame show. So, I mean, overall, I feel pretty good with where they're at, but it's going to take a little bit more grit and a little bit more guts for them to get this one.
He's not feeling it right now, and I get that. So they're gonna pass up. He's gonna pass up those shots. There was one situation he passed up a 3 he would have typically taken. They swung the ball. Duncan Robinson ended up getting the 3 from the corner, which you will take that. What's been interesting is during the playoffs, a lot of times you almost would have rather Jay shooting the shot than Duncan, because they've been the one struggling. A couple of rotation things I want to get to here. Solomon Hill again was the 8th man tonight. I thought his minutes were pretty good. He had a good pass. He took a charge. He doesn't really hurt them in their minutes. I don't think he's somebody you can play for extended minutes, but if you give him 3, 4, 5, 6, but then he did go to Olynyk. He brought in Kelly. I actually thought Kelly defended really well at the last possession of the quarter, but he can't seem to get any flow. And then he put DJJ in at the end of the second quarter, and he picked up kind of a dumb foul right before the end of it. But I find it interesting, again, that he's going with Solomon Hill in this situation. And before Olynyk and DJJ came in, this is amazing to me when you consider everything that's happened and how many months it's been. 3 of the 8 players in the rotation tonight to start were acquired in the trade halfway through the season. Or in February, which is remarkable. They picked up 3 guys playing in a potential clinching game of the Eastern Conference Finals in one trade. And I don't think at the time we anticipated that would be the case. A couple of other things. I thought Boston, first thing, Cantor. Cantor should have been playing more in this series in general. We've talked about that a lot. I don't understand it. He missed a couple of bunnies tonight, but he gets to spots. They can't really push him out of there. He's a very skilled offensive player. He doesn't look in shape, but he's a very skilled offensive player. He creates a mismatch situation for them. I don't know why he hasn't played more. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the second half. I don't feel like Brad Stevens has any feel for his bigs in this series. It's just one Williams, the other Williams, it's Tice, it's Cantor. To me, Cantor was the obvious choice. He's at least going to he forces Bam, when Bam plays him, he forces Bam not to switch out, to have Bam play on the interior because Cantor is a very good post-up. He's one of the better post-up centers in the league. And so I think he should have been playing more. That would be my thought on that. If I'm going to make an adjustment in the second half, if I'm Brad Stevens, I'm starting Cantor.
Yeah, and I think that probably the Heat will anticipate that. So it'll be interesting to see how they counter that, knowing that what they're going to try to do is get guys in those actions with Cantor so that the switches can occur. The Heat don't want them to occur. So it'll be interesting to see how Spo counteracts that. And another thing to really watch, and I thought this was huge for the second quarter when Olynyk had that brief stint and then was taken off the court, and they essentially brought back Bam and Jimmy, and they got through that second quarter with only 2 fouls. I'm looking now, and the most fouls anyone has is 2, whereas on the Celtics side, you have Tatum and Walker both with 3 fouls. So I think an interesting also, and I know that fouls can pile up quickly, especially with the way this game's being called, but I think it'll be interesting to see if they can just get everybody into the fourth quarter without having to play tentatively defensive or, passively on the defensive end, worrying about fouls. That'll be big for them to play the guys that they want to get to in the fourth.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I thought Kemba could have been called for his fourth. He took some risks, and the flopping he's learned from his backcourt mate there. He did a little of that in that Charlotte Heat series. If you go back to it, as Joshua says, defeated halftime. Paul Pierce is the best TV I've seen all year. See, we should have allowed people to watch that. Can they retire Paul Pierce if they eliminate the Celtics? I want to get back to Jimmy for a second. CK is making an appearance. Look at that. We brought in another member.
We got a whale.
Look at that.
Crash.
That's big, and the hat too. I only got 2 of those left.
You like it?
So Chris Kaufman, who's one of the hosts of 3 Yards Per Carry, coming off a big Dolphin win. We're not talking about Solomon Kinley here tonight, though. That's not happening. Okay, we're not going to break down his hips.
No, we're going to talk about Solomon Hill.
Let's bring you in on this on the Celtics, because I mean the one guy you've been impressed with the most has been, when we've been talking on the chats, has been Jaylen Brown, and they have a number this year where basically when he scores 20, they're pretty much unbeatable. Let me see where is he at right now? What is he's got 10.
Yeah,
4 of 11 from the field. I mean, look. If Tatum and Brown and Walker are the offensive engines of this team, they're shooting a combined 6 of 17, 9 of 26 in this game. Throw in Hayward, and they're 10 of 29. So, they're kind of fortunate to be down only 7. I feel like we've talked about this the other way in this series. There were times that the Heat were fortunate to be in the game.
I was going to say shoe on the other foot there.
Yeah, I feel like they're fortunate to be in this game. I don't think they came out with the requisite energy. They weren't driving the ball to the basket. Honestly, if it's not for that Cantor flurry again, which has happened a couple of times, they'd probably be long out of this thing.
Someone needs to show up in an Erdogan mask or something.
That's we already got. Alf said something about Turkey the other night. It got back to me. Anyway, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just was looking at the game logs for Jaylen Brown, and he's gotten 21, 26, and 21 in the last 3 games. So it's interesting that they've been so successful with Jaylen Brown as a scoring threat, because kind of, I guess, generally speaking, in the regular season, Tatum and Kemba are going to give you what they give you. So when you get Jaylen to get 20 also, it's pretty much unsurmountable. But it seems like in this series, the Heat are kind of living with whatever Jaylen Brown gets, and that's not their primary focus from a defensive perspective on shutting him down. So it's interesting to see that the win-loss stuff would indicate you should hone in on him, not getting loose, and they've been kind of able to withstand. They've withstood everything to this point. It's crazy.
What do we think about the fact, guys, that Spoelstra went away from the zone tonight? I mean, he's used it so consistent. I mean, did he use it for 1 possession in the first quarter? I didn't see it.
I don't think so.
I didn't see it at all.
Right. I mean, it's a little surprising to me that
it's almost like he knew that Boston would probably spend the entire off day working on how they were going to break the zone. So it's like, all right, let's completely flip the switch and go straight with man-to-man. And also when you get out to a lead early, it enables you to not have to make those kind of in-game adjustments to try to break up the rhythm. So maybe that's it.
But he
Oh, we just lost CK. Just about to make a point. What'd you do, Alejandro? Got rid of the Dolphin guy?
He got out of here.
Can we get an update, by the way? What is the situation with the Marlins today?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm watching right now. They're going to extra innings. They're 3-3 in New York, so they're gonna get to hit first in the top of the 10th with a guy on second with no outs. So 3-3. The field is already lost. So if the Marlins win, they're gonna be in the playoffs for the first time since 2003. So that's exciting news for Miami fans.
Well, it is, but I feel so sorry for them because it is. No, because
it's a basketball town.
Well, no, but it's the timing of it. Like, I mean, there's no reason the Heat should be playing in late September, right? So it's just, I mean, this with the Marlins in a normal world, none of these things would have happened, right? And you wouldn't have gotten COVID and had to bring in 28 new players, within a week like the Marlins did. But it's an incredible story what they've done, and it just is not breaking through because there's a bigger one right now. So, I mean,
we're gonna do something here. If they clinch tonight, we're gonna do a video tomorrow at 10 a.m. with David Fernandez, with Chris, with all the people that cover the Marlins. So they're gonna get their own space. But tonight is Miami Heat night. We all know.
Well, that's like on the movie Dodgeball where they had ESPN Ocho.
Yes.
We're gonna put the Marlins on like 5 Reasons like Z or something like that. It'll be on one of our channels. All right, let's get to the second half stuff here because it's coming up pretty soon. Jimmy had 14 points, 8 rebounds in the first half. I mean,
loved it.
He was, again, he doesn't have
5 assists.
But yeah, he might by accident. I mean, if he ends up with a triple-double in a game to advance to the NBA Finals, that is significant. This question comes in from Steven. Did he get away from the zone because of foul trouble? No, he didn't. There was no foul. I mean, he didn't use it. He didn't use it in the whole first quarter. I mean, there may have been a possession or two in the second that I missed as I was trying to get my daughter to go to sleep. But other than that, that was it. Carl Davis, either Crowder makes threes or steps in for mid-range. I don't even know that I want him to step in for mid-range. If he's not comfortable shooting the three, they're going to be giving him those looks. But
CK's back.
All right, CK's back. He did a good job of kind of swinging the ball in those situations, and again, one of those got back to Duncan. I don't want Jay Crowder to overthink and overshoot. I just say, if it's in the flow, he feels good about it, take it. I think their offense is multiple enough that they can do some different things. His son's got a 9 a.m. soccer game. CK, what were you saying? You were about to make the most important point in Heat media history, and then you went, and then Alejandro got rid of you.
Yeah, clearly, I was. No, I totally lost it. No, I really did lost it. But or lose it. But what you were saying about Jay Crowder, actually, it was interesting that you started to see him. I thought like he started to be a little tentative because the threes aren't falling. Jay Allen turned back into Jay Crowder, and so he started attacking the basket a little bit. But what I was saying before about about Spoelstra and the zone is just that he zigged when they zagged last game because 2 games ago they came out and they destroyed the zone, right? I mean they attacked the paint and really just dominated at the rim. And you would have expected, I think, an adjustment maybe a little bit away from the zone after that. And then Spoelstra doubled down on it. So
he didn't just double down on it, CK. He used it more. I mean, they had quadrupled down on it. I mean, he used it
exactly
in the last game than he had used it in any game in the postseason.
So if you were preparing like, okay, we destroyed the zone, we destroyed the zone in this game, they're going to go away from it, and you prepared that way, and the Heat quadrupled down on the zone, then clearly the Heat were trying to stay ahead that way. So now this game, you're preparing for the zone because it was so successful last time, and they've not used it at all. Right. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
Chess, not checkers.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see it for some possessions in the second half. I think you may throw it at them. I think that again that's sort of been Eric's MO, like you said, this kind of zig and zag when you don't expect it. I will be curious to see. One of the other things I'll be curious to see as they're getting back on the floor is if he goes deeper than 7 in the second half.
I think he bought himself enough minutes.
That's it. right?
Yep. And the other thing I think to watch for is that the way Duncan shot in the first half, now if they go back to the drawing board and really, I mean, they're focusing on him, but let's say they focus on him even more. I think Tyler Herro has a chance to rebound from that quiet first half and round out and have a good game. So that's something just to keep an eye on too.
All right,
well, they had the fresher lineup out there.
Yeah.
Like it was the give everybody a break lineup they had out there for a little while. So
Well,
I wonder
again,
about that.
He went bigless for a little bit of the game. All right, CK, thanks for jumping on.
Bam, jumper. I'm out.
All right, we can't get play-by-play. We'll be back on the chat. We'll be back post-game. Alf has no alcohol on his plane, so the post-game chat may be safe tonight. We'll see. Thanks, guys.
All right, let's kick Ethan out of here. The Marlins have men in third with 1 out, and Starling Marte is hitting right now, and the second half is underway in Orlando. So here we are with 2 Miami teams on the line, fighting, one to get into the finals and the other one to get into the playoffs for the first time since 2003. So very important moments in both fields, both in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx and in Orlando in the bubble over there. And let's see what happens. And thank you for joining us for the halftime show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see. Oh, we have, oh my God, play. And they got the runner between home and third. And, oh, it's going to be safe. Safe. So the catcher hit Monte Harrison in the back. And now the Marlins have men on second and third with 1 out. Oh my God, that's so crazy. It's been a crazy game for the Marlins, and they're still alive. So men on second and third with 1 out. Starling Marte hit a grounder to shortstop. They were playing the infield in, and the Marlins get a break here, and they have 2 men in scoring position now. Gleyber Torres did a good job. Well, he should have tried to bring the player to the third base, and then the catcher just threw it in the back of the runner. So, okay, we're going to go back to what's going on in the bubble. We're going to keep the score up so you guys can get all the action that is going on. And please keep sending your messages because we're reading all of them. So thank you very much, and we'll be back soon. All right? Thank you. That looked like a goaltending. It was a clear goaltending. So yes, that should be 2 points for the Miami Heat. So they're only down. They should get 2 more points. We'll see. So the Celtics have an 8-point lead, and it should be a 6-point lead because the Miami Heat was or should have that 2-pointer that Thais had blocked to Jimmy, I think. So it's a rough moment for Miami sports. The Yankees have men on third and second and third, the double steal, and the Yankees have the tying run on third and the winning run on second against the Marlins, and it's the 10th inning already in the Bronx, and the Heat is losing right now in the 5th game, but we are hoping that changes real quick in the next 10 minutes and we can go back to enjoying success with both teams. So it's Brandon Kinsler facing Clint Frazier in the bottom of the 10th in the Bronx, and it's the Miami Heat losing by 8 right now in the bubble, even though it should be by 6 because the Miami Heat is due 2 points there because of that play that we just mentioned. So let's see what happens with the Marlins. We can really do play-by-play, but it's 3 balls and 1 strike, and DJ LeMahieu is waiting on deck, so nothing easy comes after Clint Frazier is DJ LeMahieu, like I said, and then Aaron Judge right after him. So very hard part of the lineup coming up for the Yankees, and we'll see what Kinsler can do against him. See, and it's ball 4 against Clint Frazier, so bases loaded against the Yankees. And here we go against DJ LeMahieu. Only a ground ball or a strikeout, and then dominating Aaron Judge will be enough for the Marlins to really survive this threat for by the Yankees in the bottom of the 10th. If the Marlins loses, he loses, you can write it better. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Give him a breather. Carl Davis, Dragic is tired. Switch lineup. Herro, Bam, Crowder, Jimmy, and Duncan. Remember that we are a good team closing out games, so hopefully the Miami Heat can recover from this slow start in the 3rd quarter and then can finish up a little bit better. We need to stop reaching for threes. Young, let them get a little run out of the way. No urgency. We're not the Rockets, and Fish gets cooked over Heat. it does. So we'll see what happens there and what happens here, and we can keep enjoying of both games so far. Let's see. Okay, it's no balls, 2 strikes for DJ LeMahieu, and the game's back on ESPN. Let me see. No, they're still in a commercial break. So we're gonna stay with you guys because this is a very important part of the night, of the evening. The the Miami Marlins 2 outs away from the playoffs, but still suffering. It's a very exciting game over there in the Bronx and a very exciting game in the bubble. The images from the bubble are coming back. Udonis Haslem really talking to all the guys, to Jimmy Butler, Adebayo, Herro, and Crowder, who are the ones sitting right in front of him. We are halfway, okay? We are only halfway, okay? So let's keep bringing the rhythm up. That's some of the things that Haslem was saying. He's mad. You can tell he's really mad there in the bench. And let me see what's going on. Okay, it's hit ball, and let me see if they fixed the scoreboard there. No, they didn't fix it so far, and I don't know if they can do it right after. I thought they were going to do it right after this timeout. So let's go back to the Bronx, and it's a ground ball to the middle, and the Marlins are in the playoffs, guys. The Marlins beat the Yankees 4-3, ground ball for double play, and the Marlins are in the playoffs for the first time since 2003. So here we go. We got to celebrate. And let me see if we can do something here and during the game. And let's celebrate with the Marlins so far. So we're going to set up a different live streaming for all of you guys that are fans of the Miami Marlins. So we can have a little 10-minute chat with David Fernandez, who's going to be joining me for a little bit to talk about the Marlins, and then you guys are gonna listen to him anyway. So let's try to do this and see how it works, and see if we can do that. So the Marlins are in the playoffs, and we are very happy here in the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel because it's a very good moment for both teams. Miami Heat about to get into the finals if they can recover and come back to this game and win it, and then the Marlins now in the playoffs. So let's read some of the comments here. I wonder if Bam's wrist is affecting him, and then come on UD, firing them up. Yes, that's great. Good. Come on, let's go the Heat now. Every time the Marlins get in the playoffs, they win the World Series. That's true, Stephen. You know they don't go to the playoffs just to be there. So, yeah. The Marlins are in the playoffs. So, yes, that's a great moment for Marlins history there. And we're going to try to do a live show with David Fernandez. We're gonna do magic here. So, bear with us because it's a very exciting moment, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do it, but we are going to do it. We're going to get you guys our coverage for this very exciting moment for Miami's history. And the Heat are down, but let's see if they can cut it out a little bit, and then we can come back for the third quarter. I'm sorry. The guys are going to be here for the post-game show, so if the Miami Heat loses, I don't know if Alf is going to host it, but we are going to have the post-game conferences. Don't worry. That's a must for us. We love our Miami Heat coverage. Even when they lose, we're going to be there for you guys to be there and do all that. So I'm going to be here in 2 broadcasts. We'll see. Let me see if we can do that. We're going to try it for the first time today, and we're going to try to do magic, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to enjoy it because it's going to be fun. We're going to be in 2 different places at the same time, and that's going to be okay. Let's see if we have any echo. No, we're good. So you guys are going to get to listen to David Fernandez while we talk about the Miami Marlins, while at the same time we're monitoring what's going on with the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics in the bubble in Orlando. So very exciting moment for Miami fans. The Heat are still down by 8, and we're still mad because the Heat didn't get those points that they should have gotten after the goaltending by Daniel Theis. So 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the third quarter, I'm sorry, and a lot of time to go for the Miami Heat to try to make a comeback here. 7 points away, Dragic with the and one, and he finishes with the 2 points. So it's a very exciting moment for us. We are doing it live here in 5 Reasons, of course, trying to get you the best coverage so far, and let's do it. Miami is in the playoffs for the Marlins, and Miami is fighting to get into the finals against the Celtics here in Orlando. So let's see if that goes our way, and we'll be here in 5 Reasons covering for all of you guys, of course. The Boston Celtics back at it again, 11 points up against the Miami Heat, and I mean we'll see what happens, and let's see what the Marlins have to tell us here. The Miami Marlins are in the postseason bound, yes. So the Heat will be playing. Let me see, on Wednesday. It could be Alcantara or Sixto Sanchez or Pablo Lopez pitching. All of them will have the rest days to pitch that day. So let's see. Okay, the Miami Heat is coming back again and again. Goran Dragic with a 2-1 for the basket. So it's 83-75 with 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go. Now the Celtics have the ball, and we're waiting for the David Fernandez, who's going to be here with us in a little bit to do around 10 minutes. 10 minutes would be enough just to do a quick thing right after the Miami Marlins classification for the playoffs. They are in the playoffs, and we'll be back to the Miami Heat real soon because we have to end this broadcast real soon too. We are overcooking the 3. Stop it. Come on, Heat. Yes, I'm enjoying every time Goran Dragic gets the ball and goes to the basket. That should be more often happen. That should happen more often with the Miami Heat. So great season for Miami teams. The Heat almost in the finals. We are 1 win away. We're winning, but most of the time, best actor Kemba. Yes, he's been a pain in the ass with all the flopping and all the different things that he's been doing. So another foul on Dragic, and we'll see what happened. Marcus Morris complaining about the call. It's a push. We'll get some water here, and we're gonna try to stay here with you guys until the end of this quarter. And it was a 3, so no, they called it. I don't know why they didn't call it in the shot, but I don't know. So Goran Dragic is taking over in this last couple of minutes, and we'll see if that works when the Boston Celtics are up again by 11. They come back every time the Miami Heat gets closer. This time it was Tatum with another 3. And that's what happens when you let a guy like this to heat up and a team like this to really escape. The Miami Heat should have been winning by more points in the first half. And then all of these happen. So we'll see if sloppy defense, according to Stephen Wong, yes, it might be sloppy defense by the Miami Heat. So we'll be here with you guys soon talking about the Miami Marlins. For now, we're just focusing on the Miami Heat because that's the team we're covering so far. And we're still watching the game with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. The Miami Heat's down by 10 points. Bam Adebayo in the free throw line. He couldn't make both of them, so we are down by 10 with less than 2 minutes to go. Last time we did this, and we said the Miami Heat was going to come back. We ended up winning game 1 of this series, so we were going to have the same mentality, and hopefully the Marlins, the Miami Heat, can come back from this deficit. Those free throws are very important at this point. So we'll see what happens, and we've been reading your messages, so thank you very much to all of you that have been with us for almost 3 hours already. So we've been here live with you guys. And thanks to you guys for being here with us all the time. So Paul complaining about the call, another foul on Jason Tatum. Let's see what was it? Okay, a little Euro step, and then maybe Bam touched him a little before he went to the basket. Let me see, go back, right hand on right arm, I think would have been that foul call. So that would be the reason for that foul call, and the Boston Celtics go up by 12, but then Miami Heat comes back with another basket. So it's 88-78, and we'll see what happens now. And we'll be waiting for David Fernandez, so don't worry. We're going to have your Marlins coverage here a little bit, and hopefully also cover the Miami Heat coming back in the fourth quarter. So Stephen Wang, let me see what he has to say. Need to try to get it to single digits before the fourth quarter. Yes, that would be great. Dragic dancing all over the place. Every time Dragic, I don't know why he doesn't do this more often, right? Take control of the ball and attack the basket, and don't let anybody else take control of the game like Tatum is doing right now, and that they just called another stupid foul. Oh my God. Foul trouble for Bam and Jimmy doesn't bode very well. Whoa, the refs got paid. Well, yes, it's been a rough playoffs, I would say, with the refs. I mean, look at this foul right now. It's Tatum coming up, hitting Dragic on the face, and then Dragic gets the call there. So that sucks. Okay, we have David Fernandez here. You guys are gonna listen to him, and we're gonna go live on this one in a second. What's up, David? How are you?
Good, man. How's it going?
Good. We're all excited about the Marlins, and I'm gonna do two shows at the same time. So let's see how this goes.
What other show are you doing?
The other guys are listening to you in the live tweeting party that we're doing for the Miami Heat, and we're gonna do now Marlins live. It's gonna be in the same channel at the same time in two different videos, and it's gonna be awesome. So let me put this here.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm a little crazy, but it's Friday night, so why not?
Yeah, man. I got a beer here. We're good.
There you go. I should have one, but I don't have one right now. I should. Oh, there you go. Marlins. Okay. We're going to go live in a second here on the other one. And the Boston Celtics are winning 92-83 on my scorecard here. And we're going to go live with David Fernandez on the other one. So it's 3, 2, 1. Hello, friends from 5 Reasons. We are back here with our Marlins report. We are live. I know we are doing this during the Miami Heat game, but we had to do it. It's going to be a short one, short and sweet for you guys to enjoy. And tomorrow, on Saturday, we're going to do a more complete analysis of the situation with all the people that are following the Marlins in the 5 Reasons Sports Network. So, David Fernandez, we're excited about this team. We knew we had the chance to really make the playoffs, but we never thought it was going to be at the Bronx, at Yankee Stadium, against the mighty Yankees, with the double play, with the bases loaded, and everything that went on in this game. So welcome. You guys have been covering the Marlins this year. You guys have been doing an awesome job there. So the floor is yours. Miami Marlins.
Alejandro, thank you, man. Thanks for hopping on here. I mean, this is a special time. It's been 17 years since the Marlins have been in the playoffs, right? 17 years since the last time the Marlins qualified for the postseason in MLB. And listen, there's nothing to say about this team that, you can really kind of, go too negative, right? Have we been frustrated with the offense from time to time? Yes. Have we been frustrated with some of the pitching performances? Yeah, absolutely, right? But the resilience that this team has shown all year long, from what we started with at the beginning with the COVID-19 outbreak, with all of the injuries and everything that's happened to this club. I mean, they've believed in themselves the entire time. They have always bounced back. I mean, they lose to the Braves by 20 runs. They lose to teams by 15, by 10, by 11, and every time they come back with a win on the next night. Like, this team is so incredibly resilient. They are fighters, and they pushed and they pushed and they pushed, and they finally earned that postseason berth here tonight. It was an incredible performance tonight. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I know. And talking about incredible performances, yesterday Pablo Lopez against the Braves, only 5 innings, but a very important 5 innings, because we saw what happened in the first 3 games of that series. The Braves are just a very explosive offensive team. It's very hard to really stop them, and Pablo did that for the first 5 innings, and then the bullpen came on. And everybody but Boxberger was great yesterday, especially Kinsler. With that 6-out save, which is great. It was the first time he did it in his career. And today we had Sandy Alcantara. I'm sorry, I'm everywhere today. It's Sandy Alcantara throwing a great game too, going into the 8th inning, only 2 runs. I mean, he doesn't win this game, but he's one of the main reasons why the Marlins got that win today. I mean, the Gary Cooper home run early in the game was huge. That was very important. The little misplay by the Yankees there in the 10th was also important. But talk to me about this Sandy Alcantara, man. He is the ace of this rotation. It's not Pablo Lopez. It's not Sixto. Sixto is great. He can be an ace sometime, but it's Sandy Alcantara. Yeah. It's Sandy time.
That was the question, right? For a little while, we were kind of wondering who the ace of this staff was, right? And everybody kind of downplayed Sandy. I mean, I know he got sick, so he was out for a month and all of that. And Pablo was so great to start the season. And then Sixto came on like a ball of fire, right? But listen, what Sandy Alcantara did tonight was incredible against this lineup in Yankee Stadium, where, I mean, they're just so incredibly potent. I mean, we worried about the Braves lineup. I mean, this lineup has bangers up and down just like that one, if not better, especially when they're playing in New York. And what he was able to do today, he went into the 8th inning, right? Officially 7 1/3 innings pitched. He racked up 9 strikeouts. And he gave up 2 earned runs. You know, he hit like the 3rd run was ultimately his responsibility too. But he was so good tonight, and he was able to induce double plays when he needed them. And he was able to get out of, you know, the little issues that he would run into from time to time. But he really showed like the moxie and the fight of an ace. And he was talking about that going into this start a couple days ago. In the media availability, he was talking about, the Yankees lineup is great, but they're going to have to fight with me, right? And, he showed his best stuff here tonight. He showed his frontline stuff, his all-star stuff, his ace-level stuff. And if we get this performance from him and how sharp Pablo was the other, last night against the Braves, if Sixto can find his form again, like regain it, that's an incredible 1-2-3 punch for any playoff series, right? And so, the Marlins are looking good moving into their postseason series, whomever it's against.
Yeah, because they get to pick who pitches that day. And you know what? We saw it with Pablo. We saw it with Sandy today. Chad Wallach has been a key for the starting pitchers to really go back to what they were doing before. And, I mean, if you ask me now, you might go with Wallach for that first game of the playoffs, because you need your starting pitcher to really perform at that level. And you talked about pitchers inducing double plays, and today we had 2 huge ones. Boxberger came back. He started the inning with another walk, and then he came back with a huge double play there in the 9th. And then talk about Kinsler, man. Again, I mean, it was a very hard situation. It was DJ LeMahieu and then Aaron Judge coming up with the bases loaded, up by 1. We were like, oh my God, this is it. It's time to shine. And he got it. Ground ball, perfect. And it's a double play.
Listen, and that's his specialty, right? He induces ground balls, he induces double plays, and the worry that you had going into this game was, because Mattingly had to lean on his guys on the back end of the bullpen so much yesterday. I mean, we saw Yimi yesterday, we saw Boxberger yesterday, we saw Kinsler. Kinsler had to get 6 outs yesterday. He threw 29 pitches, and then he came back. They needed the game tonight. Because the Phillies lost, right? So the game was there for the taking. So everybody was ready to go. And even though he threw 29 pitches, I mean, he didn't look great. His command was off, you know. He was obviously in a jam throughout the inning, but he made the pitch when he needed to make it. And listen, we cannot discount Jesus Aguilar's defensive play there, because that changes, you know, that changes the inning, right? If he's not able to secure that out, you know, the Yankees are able to do that much more, right? So his defensive play was incredibly important, right? And he actually drove in the game-winning run with his sac fly, which was nice to see after he struggled so much earlier in the game, because he had some opportunities to break this game open from an offensive perspective. But Aguilar was able to drive in the run. He was able to make the key defensive play there in the 10th, and then Kinsler, just that pitch that he was able to get and induce the double play, and the Marlins were able to get out of it and punch their ticket into the postseason. It's so incredible. This team's story is so incredible.
And that's why we're doing this live session. It's going to be a quick one. Tomorrow, like we said, we're going to do a more complete report because we have to go back to the Miami Heat losing by 7 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Right now, the Miami Marlins, have the 5th best record, so they would go against the San Diego Padres, where we still have to wait until the end of. I mean, we have to play Saturday and Sunday and see where we end up and see who's going to be our rival starting on Wednesday in the playoffs. So thank you very much, David. We're gonna be back tomorrow again to talk a little bit more Marlins. And I'm glad. I mean, this is history. I know we're in the middle of the Miami Heat trying to come back, but this is history. And thank you for joining me. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Can't wait for it.
All right. See you tomorrow, and keep enjoying that beer watching the Miami Heat.
Yes.
All right. Thanks to David Fernandez. He's doing a great job there in 5 Reasons Sports. And we're going to go back to another broadcast with the Miami Heat down by 10 at this point with 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Sorry, you guys that didn't want to listen to baseball right now, but this is history for Miami, and we had to cover it real quick in the YouTube channel here on 5 Reasons. So we're back 10 points down, and let's do something. We're going to finish this here. And thank you guys for joining us for more than 3 hours. We're gonna get out and we're gonna prepare the post-game show. So you guys enjoy the rest of this broadcast. It's been great to share with you guys these last couple of minutes, and it's always fun to read all your messages and to be covering what's going on in Heat Twitter live right now. So thank you very much for joining us. We're just gonna keep the score up until the end of the game, and thank you guys for being here with us once again. All right, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. So thank you guys. It's a 16 lead for the Boston Celtics. Too bad the Miami Heat didn't come to play in the second half, and hopefully they come back. But it's a rough one. So we'll be back soon for the post game coverage. And thank you very much for joining us today in the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Celtics executing, Miami's not. Miami playing sloppy. I agree. Well, that's it. That's what we get today, and we'll be back soon with more coverage of the Miami Heat basketball team. All right. Thank you very much, and have a good night. See you soon. And we'll be back here for the post-game show. So thank you.